The courtroom goes silent as David Woolley presses play. A crackling audio file fills the room, slicing through the tension like a knife. No one is ready for what's coming, not Robin, not the judge, not even Kody Brown himself. The morning feels unusually heavy, as if the very air knows something devastating is about to happen. Reporters hover near the courthouse doors, whispering rumors of new evidence. They can sense the tension but have no idea how explosive the truth will be. David walks steadily beside Christine. She looks anxious, but David's hand on her back keeps her grounded. Janelle and Mary trail behind, distant from one another yet united by an unspoken truth. Today might be the day everything finally falls apart around Kody. Kody sits rigid at the defense table, his eyes flickering with unease. Robin is stiff beside him, mascara smudged under her eyes, tissues crumpled in her hands. The bailiff calls everyone to rise. The judge enters, and the atmosphere shifts instantly. David sits and places a thin, worn folder in front of him. Inside is the audio file Christine discovered by accident, a nearly dead, forgotten phone buried in storage for years. When she pressed play, the words almost shattered her. Kody, unfiltered and venomous, spoke about her, Janelle, Mary, and Robin. David listened carefully, knowing immediately how powerful the recording was. The judge glances at David. Ready to present the plaintiff's new evidence? David rises, voice calm but firm. Your Honor, what you are about to hear was recently recovered. It is a private recording made years ago. Its authenticity has been confirmed. Kody scoffs. Give me a break. Another lie. The judge warns sharply, you will remain silent unless spoken to. Robin grabs Kody's sleeve, whispering frantically, what recording? What is he talking about? David places the flash drive on the evidence table. With your permission, Your Honor, we would like to play the audio. Kody's lawyer jumps up. This could be manipulated. We object. You may play it, the judge says decisively. David presses play. A low crackle hums, then Kody's voice slices through the courtroom. If Christine left tomorrow, I wouldn't even notice. She's replaceable. She always has been. Christine stiffens. Janelle looks away. Mary's eyes dim with hurt. Gasps ripple through the courtroom. Kody jumps to his feet. Out of context. I didn't. The judge silences him. David continues. She wants independence. Good. Let her pay her own way for once. I'm tired of babysitting her emotions. Christine swallows hard, holding back a tremor. David gently squeezes her hand under the table. And Janelle, if she questions me about money again, I swear I'm done. She's a liability. Janelle's jaw clenches, eyes unflinching, but the pain is clear. Robin is the only wife that matters. The rest. I don't even know why they're still around. Robin freezes, eyes wide. David stops the audio. The silence is suffocating. Kody stumbles. This is fake. Edited. Christine rises suddenly, tears streaking her cheeks. I didn't fabricate anything. I just survived you. David steps forward. Your Honor, a forensic technician can verify the audio's authenticity. The judge nods. Proceed. The specialist confirms the audio is unaltered. Kody's face drains of color. Robin's gaze drops to the floor. David turns back to the judge. There is more, Your Honor. Kody shakes his head violently. No, don't you dare. David presses play again. Kody's voice returns, colder, sharper. Mary needs to wake up. I never loved her. That marriage died years ago. And Christine, she's dramatic, exhausting. If she walked away today, I'd celebrate. And honestly, I'm done pretending to be the good guy. David stops the recording briefly. Kody panics. There is one more section, David says carefully. The judge nods. Kody's voice lowers, sharp. I swear one day they'll regret crossing me, especially Christine. She only had a life because I allowed it. And that new boyfriend of hers. He's nothing. He'll never be me. He won't last a year. Christine looks at David, startled by how calm he remains. David stops the audio. Silence. Every eye turns to Kody. The judge finally speaks. Mr. Brown, would you like to respond to your own words? Kody's lips move, but no sound comes out. Just then, someone rises from the gallery. Aurora. Robin panics. Aurora, no. Sit down. Aurora steps forward, voice shaking. I heard the recording. That's not the father I know. Something isn't right. The judge asks David, do you want her sworn in? David nods. Yes, Your Honor. Kody freezes. Robin's hand falls from her daughter's arm. Aurora places her trembling palm on the Bible, swears to tell the truth, and sits. The courtroom is suddenly charged with a new kind of pressure. Aurora's confession is not the final blow, it is only the beginning. Aurora swallows hard, her gaze shifting between Kody, David, and Christine. I came here today because I heard the recording, and I've never heard my father speak like that. Not about us, not about them. Christine looks down, surprised. Aurora had grown up under Kody's protection, his constant praise, and his careful manipulation. She never expected this child to speak against him, not in court, not ever. David keeps his voice calm, gentle. Aurora, what struck you the most about what you heard? Aurora hesitates, then admits, her voice quivering, the way he talked about Christine. I didn't know he resented her so much. Murmurs ripple through the courtroom. Robin whispers, desperate, stop, please stop. Kody leans forward. Aurora, you don't understand. The judge silences him immediately. Mr. Brown, you will not interrupt a witness. Aurora continues, almost whispering. He said Christine was replaceable. Janelle was a liability. He never loved Mary. I realized then, he lied to us. He lied to so many of us. Mary's eyes fill with tears. She never expected anyone from Robin's side to acknowledge her pain. David nods slightly, understanding the weight of Aurora's words. Do you believe the recording is real? David asks carefully. Aurora bites her lip, torn. I want to believe it isn't. It hurts too much. But, it sounds like him. The way he talks when he thinks no one is listening. Robin suddenly bursts out, her voice cracking. Aurora, your dad loves you. He loves all of us. This is being twisted. Aurora closes her eyes. Mom, I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about the way he treats them. She gestures toward Christine, Janelle, and Mary. Robin goes still, speechless, realizing she has no defense against these words. David leans in gently. Aurora, have you ever witnessed similar behavior at home? Maybe not these exact words, but the same anger or resentment? Aurora nods. Kody slams his hand on the defense table. This is ridiculous. The judge bangs the gavel. One more outburst, Mr. Brown, and you will be held in contempt. Aurora continues, her voice trembling but determined. He would rant late at night, sometimes to us, sometimes to Mom, sometimes to himself. He blamed Christine for everything. He said Janelle was stubborn. He said Mary was the reason the family fell apart. Mary breaks down, her breath shaky. Christine gently touches her hand, offering quiet support. David asks softly, "Did he ever say anything to you that scared you?" Robin jolts. "Don't answer that, Aurora." The judge intervenes. "You may answer." Aurora looks down at her hands. "When I had panic attacks, he said I was too emotional, too dramatic. He told me I needed to toughen up. If I cried, he said I made him look weak." The courtroom collectively inhales. Robin begins to cry silently, realizing the full weight of her daughter's testimony. Christine's eyes soften, feeling empathy for Aurora despite everything. David carefully moves on. "Aurora, do you believe your father has two faces, one for the public, and one when no one is watching?" Tears spill from Aurora's eyes. "Yes, he does," she whispers. Kody rises violently, toppling his chair. "This is insane. She's a child. She doesn't know what she's talking about." Robin grabs his arm, pleading. "Stop, please stop." But he jerks away, wild-eyed. The bailiff steps closer. The judge's voice drops coldly. "Mr. Brown, I am seconds away from having you removed." Kody stands, chest heaving, eyes fixed on Aurora as if she has betrayed him. Aurora collapses into herself, overwhelmed, while Christine instinctively moves to comfort her, but stops. This isn't her place. David nods to the judge. No further questions. The judge sympathetically allows Aurora to step down. As she passes Robin, she pulls away. Robin's face crumbles in shock. The courtroom is still buzzing as the recess begins. David stands, stretching, watching Kody unravel piece by piece. Suddenly, a familiar voice echoes faintly from a speaker left on the evidence table, Kody's voice. "Turn that off." Kody yells, lunging forward. Too late. Half empty, the courtroom hears one line before the bailiff shuts the system down. "Robin is the only wife I ever truly cared about. The rest were obligations." Gasps ripple through the room. Christine, Janelle, Mary, everyone freezes. David allows himself a small, satisfied smile. That line wasn't on the original tape. It was from a second, secret recording, recorded by someone no one expected. The doors swing open, and a young adult enters cautiously. Shoulders tense, eyes lowered, but with unmistakable courage. It's Gwendolyn Brown, Christine's daughter. The courtroom is electric with anticipation. Kody's face drains of color. He grips the edge of his table. What is she doing here? She wasn't listed, she can't. The judge cuts him off sharply. This witness has been approved. Sit down. Gwendolyn walks to the stand, spine straight, hands trembling. She takes the oath and sits. The attorney approaches gently. Gwendolyn, why are you here today? Her voice cracks but steadies. Because I've spent too long being afraid of him. The courtroom gasps. Kody pales, his world beginning to crumble. Christine's eyes fill with pride and pain. Gwendolyn continues. I recorded that second audio clip when I was 17. I hoped that proof would help me understand why he chose some of us and ignored the rest. She wipes her eyes but doesn't stop. In that recording, he said Robin was the only wife that mattered. He said the rest slowed him down. That the kids from other households were distractions. Christine closes her eyes, a silent ache for her daughter. The attorney asks, why didn't you come forward sooner? Gwendolyn exhales shakily. Because being a brown kid meant learning early that keeping quiet is safer. Speaking up makes you the problem. Loyalty meant swallowing my pain. I was tired of swallowing anything. Kody tightens his jaw. You're misunderstanding. The judge interrupts sharply. Mr. Brown, enough. Gwendolyn's words cut deep. You always told us honesty mattered most. But you lied every time you pretended we mattered as much as Robin's kids. You said we were equal, but you didn't treat us that way. Why was nothing ever enough? Kody stands, defensive yet stunned. The courtroom holds its collective breath. Gwendolyn takes a deep breath, her eyes scanning the room, landing finally on her father. There's one more part of the recording. The part no one has ever heard. Kody's jaw tightens. His knuckles turn white as he grips the edge of the defense table. You don't have the right to. The judge interrupts firmly. Ms. Brown, you may present the evidence. Mr. Brown remains seated and silent. Gwendolyn nods, hands shaking slightly as she retrieves her phone. She plugs it into the courtroom system, the tension thick enough to choke on. David leans forward slightly, giving her a reassuring nod. She presses play. A low crackle fills the room before Kody's unmistakable voice emerges. I don't care what anyone thinks. Christine, Janelle, Mary, none of them will ever equal Robin. They're inconvenient, expendable. My children from other marriages. Just distractions. I'm tired of pretending. The courtroom reacts instantly. Gasps, murmurs, and shocked whispers ripple through every corner. Robin covers her mouth, eyes wide. Christine turns sharply toward Gwendolyn, her hand gripping the edge of the table. Mary stares blankly, jaw tight. Janelle's eyes narrow with the mix of validation and pain that only years of betrayal can produce. Kody slams his hand on the table, standing abruptly. This is fake. You edited it. Lies. This is manipulation. David steps forward calmly. Your own words are on this recording, Mr. Brown. There's no manipulation. There's no editing. This is authenticity verified by a forensic specialist. Kody's face pales as his empire of control begins to crumble. Robin's hand hovers over his arm, but he pulls it away. He's unrecognizable, unhinged, desperate, and trapped. Gwendolyn continues, voice stronger now, her words precise and deliberate. I recorded it because I needed proof of the truth. You said Robin mattered more, that the rest of us were obstacles. I thought if the world heard it, maybe someone would finally see who you really are. The courtroom is silent except for the faint hum of the speaker. Every eye is locked on Kody, who now realizes the depth of his exposure. He whispers harshly, this can't be happening. The judge leans forward. Mr. Brown, the evidence has been presented. Do you wish to respond? Kody opens his mouth, but no sound comes out. He's paralyzed, the weight of years of lies and manipulation bearing down on him. David approaches Gwendolyn, gently placing a hand near hers without touching the phone. Thank you. That was courageous. She nods, swallowing hard. It's time someone spoke. Someone who lived it, who saw it all. Mary, finally gathering her strength, stands and moves closer to Janelle. We survived him together, she whispers. They share a brief, supportive glance, two women who endured the same storm, now silently united. Robin, still frozen, turns to Kody, tears streaking her face. Why are you still blaming everyone else for your failures? Look at what your own daughter is saying. Kody's eyes dart to Gwendolyn, then back to Robin. He opens his mouth to respond but stops. No words come, only a realization that his carefully constructed narrative has collapsed completely. The judge rises slightly. We will recess briefly. When we return, additional witnesses and evidence will be presented. But for now, the court sees the impact of this recording. Ms. Brown, you may step down. Gwendolyn nods, stepping away from the stand. The weight of her courage is evident in every step. She returns to her seat, facing the courtroom, not her father, but the reality she helped expose. David watches Kody from across the room, his expression calm yet intense. He knows this isn't the end. This revelation will ripple through every aspect of Kody's life, personally and publicly. The pieces are falling, one by one, and Kody can no longer hide behind manipulation or charm. The court recesses, but the energy remains. Kody slumps into his chair, staring blankly at the floor. Robin sits frozen, trying to reconcile the father she thought she knew with the man revealed in the recordings. Christine and her daughters share a quiet, private glance, gratitude, relief, and vindication flowing silently between them. As the courtroom empties, David gathers the remaining evidence from the table. "Next, we move forward," he says quietly to Christine. "This is far from over, but today, we've already shifted the tide." The camera pans out of the courtroom, capturing the tension, the fear, and the anticipation. Everyone knows that when the hearing resumes, the next revelations could be even more explosive. Kody's world is unraveling, and there's no turning back. The courtroom reconvenes after the brief recess, the air still heavy with tension. Kody sits rigid, eyes darting nervously across the room, trying to measure the impact of Gwendolyn's revelations. He knows that this is only the beginning. David Woolley stands, flipping through the remaining evidence with deliberate calm. "Your Honor," he begins, voice steady, "there is additional testimony that further supports the authenticity of the recordings and the behavior they reveal. We call Mary Thompson to the stand." Mary rises, hesitating for a fraction of a second, but her expression hardens with resolve. She walks forward, each step echoing like a drumbeat of truth. Kody flinches, whispering sharply to Robin, "Don't let her talk. Don't let this happen." But Robin's hand hovers uselessly at her side. She cannot stop the floodgates from opening. Mary takes her oath and sits. The attorney begins softly. "Mary, could you describe your relationship with Mr. Brown and how it relates to the recordings presented today?" Mary inhales slowly, steadying herself. "I believed I was part of his family," she begins, voice trembling but strong. "I believed he cared. I trusted him. And then I heard the recording." She glances toward David, who nods for encouragement. "I realized I was nothing but a pawn. The man I loved, the father I thought I knew, had contempt for me. Every choice he made, every word he spoke about us, it was all selfish, all calculated." Gasps ripple through the courtroom. Kody's face turns red with fury, but he is restrained, knowing that any outburst will further damage him. Robin's hand covers her mouth as tears spill, realizing the truth Mary is speaking resonates with her own suppressed doubts. The attorney continues. "Mary, did Mr. Brown ever attempt to manipulate or hide evidence?" Mary swallows hard. "Yes. After Christine found the phone and the recordings, he came to my house, searching through drawers, checking the cars, claiming he was looking for a missing charger. But he wasn't. He was trying to erase proof of what he had said. I already knew the recording existed because David had it backed up, but his desperation, it was frightening." The courtroom murmurs in reaction. Kody's jaw tightens, lips pressed together. Robin glances at him, whispering, "This is who he really is." He doesn't respond, only stares at the floor, the weight of exposure pressing down like a vice. David steps forward, gently guiding the next question. "Mary, what impact did hearing those words have on you?" Mary closes her eyes, swallowing the lump in her throat. "It confirmed everything I suspected but never wanted to believe. I wasn't valued. I wasn't equal. I wasn't enough. And all those years, I tried to be the perfect daughter, the perfect stepmother, the perfect co-parent. But it was never enough. None of us were enough." The room is silent except for the occasional shuffle of papers or the stifled sob of an observer. The judge leans forward, absorbing the testimony like the room itself is holding its breath. David softens his voice but keeps the courtroom's attention. Mary, have you ever witnessed him display the same resentment in person? Yes, she admits. He would blame Christine for every argument, Janelle for every mistake, and me for the rest. It was always someone else's fault. And now we finally have proof that he felt exactly what he said in private. Kody pounds his fist lightly against the table, voice low but trembling. This is manipulation. Lies. You're all twisting my words. The judge slams the gavel, silencing him. Mr. Brown, you will remain silent until permitted. Any further interruption will result in contempt of court. Mary's voice rises slightly, fueled by years of pent-up frustration. No one manipulated the recordings. He said these things. He meant them. And today, I am not afraid to speak them aloud. David nods to the attorney, who gently closes the questioning. Thank you, Mary. You may step down. Mary walks back to her seat, holding her head high. Janelle reaches out, taking her hand in solidarity. The two women exchange a glance filled with relief, validation, and mutual strength. Even Christine allows herself a small, proud smile. The judge calls for the next witness, but before anyone can move, a hush falls over the room. One of the reporters leans forward, whispering to another, "Did you hear that? There's still another recording. David said there's one about him." Kody's face drains of color. Robin's hand drops to her lap, trembling. Even David's calm demeanor tightens subtly. The storm is far from over. The courtroom, now fully awake to the revelations, waits in tense anticipation. Everyone knows the next testimony could utterly dismantle Kody Brown's carefully constructed facade. The courtroom is electric. Every eye is on Kody Brown, but the storm isn't coming for him alone. It's coming for everyone who has lived under the shadow of his manipulation. David Woolley steps forward, the remaining flash drive in hand, and places it on the evidence table. His calm demeanor contrasts sharply with the tension swirling around him. "Your Honor," David says, voice steady, "this is the final piece of evidence. It is a recording that Kody made years ago, about himself, his own behavior, and the consequences of his actions. We believe it will provide critical context to everything presented today." Kody freezes. His knuckles widen on the table. Robin whispers desperately, "Please, Kody, don't," but he doesn't listen. The gavel bangs as the judge nods, giving David permission. The audio clicks on. Kody's voice, slower and more reflective than anyone has heard, fills the courtroom. "I am everything I have claimed to be in public," the recording begins. "But in private, I know the truth. I am selfish. I manipulate. I lie. I hurt people I claim to love. And someday, they'll all know. They'll all see what I truly am." A collective gasp sweeps through the room. Robin's eyes widen, even Kody blanches at his own words. Christine grips her chair, silent but triumphant. David pauses the recording briefly, letting the words sink in. "Your Honor," he says, "this recording confirms Kody's awareness of his own actions. It shows intent. It shows that the manipulation, the favoritism, the cruelty, it was never accidental. He knew." The judge leans forward, pen hovering above the bench. "Mr. Brown," the judge addresses Kody directly, "do you wish to respond?" Kody opens his mouth, but no sound comes out. His defenses crumble under the weight of his own admissions, both past and present. He looks at Robin, at the wives, at his children, all of whom now see him as he is, unmasked, vulnerable, humanly flawed, and culpable. David resumes the recording. "I will say their names, and they will know. Christine, Janelle, Mary, Robin, each has been treated as less than they deserved. Each has been used to prop up my image. And Gwendolyn, my own child, I failed you. I failed all of you. And now, I cannot undo it. I can only live with it. Tears streamed down Robin's face, not in shock, but in sorrow for the truth that was hidden for so long. Mary collapses back into her seat, exhausted but relieved. Janelle's hands tighten around her own, a mix of validation and grief.